Rest in peace to Nolan. Let's figure out what the media has to say about this. Rest in peace to Nolan. Prayers out to the family. Like I was saying before I started this video, if I'm going outside of my comfort zone to do something, my fate, my safety is my responsibility and no one else's. I'm not putting my fate in no one else's hands but myself. And quite frankly, in this day and age, I thought we knew that. I thought we knew better enough than to depend on someone else's responsibility to ensure our safety, my safety, your safety. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sending any of my loved ones anywhere by themselves outside of their comfort zone, expecting that their safety is in the hands of whomever. That's not that's not how we roll in today's society. Everyone is sketchy. I'm a paranoid person. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you look like me or you don't look like me. I'm paranoid. Rest in peace to Nolan. Prayers out to his family. I don't know how old this kid was. Apparently he was young. And the way the story has it is he went out on some type of trip with his friends. I believe the setting was in the midst of water. And he did not make it back home with the rest of his friends. Yes, the story is sketchy, but again, the way it seems is that this dude or his mom knew where he would be and was expecting that he would come back home with the rest of his entourage. That was a red flag from the start, especially where this take took place. Um, all of the alarms would have been going off. All the alarms would have been going off. This is not this is not to have no type of preconceived notion of of a group of people. Your safety is your responsibility and your responsibility only, no one else's. I'm gonna pull this up because it's very unfortunate, and I'm seeing it all over my news feeds. All of my news feeds. It's and everyone is giving their take on the situation. Um, let me share my screen. Let me share my screen with you guys. That's very unfortunate. Um, damn, this dude, bro. And then there was this other video of this guy. Um, he was this what this. So that happened in Mississippi. There was another situation in Florida. This, another young dude, another young kid. He again out with his friends, similar setting. You know, in in a river, what it seemed to be, and he had a life jacket, and I guess his friends crossed some part of the river. He kept saying, "I can't swim," and he wasn't brave enough to go across the river with the life jacket, and so his friends his friends were saying, "Swim, dude, you got a fucking life jacket, you're a grown ass man." And he's like, "I don't know how to swim." And they're like, "We gotta get you back home safe to your mom." Um Whatever, they were calling his mom something, and then he just ended up saying, "Oh, my dad is not there." And they were like, "We know your dad is not there." He's like, "My dad is in prison." You're like, "We know your dad is in prison. We could tell, it's obvious." Red flag, bro. Those are not your friends. Those are not your friends. And if you know you can't swim, why are you putting yourself in a situation where your safety to be able to get across that water is in the hands of someone else's. Why we not thinking about that? That's just I just it's something it's something that I can't wrap my head around, and maybe it was, maybe it was an innocent um it was an innocent, innocent mistake on this young dude. He's like, yeah, I trust my friends. You can't trust nobody, bro, especially when it comes to your safety, especially when it comes to your life. Even in another situation, let's say you wanna experiment with a drug. How do you trust that you're gonna sober up back to your normal self with that drug that you're experimenting with? You can't trust it. If you don't know it enough to get yourself to and from, you can't trust it. Don't experiment in that, in that caliber. So those two situations, they were really similar in what the outcome was expected to be. His friends were not reliable to get him across that river, and it just so happened that a family, all right, was going down the river in a raft, and they overheard the commotion and they stopped because they heard this boy pleading for his safety, saying, "I can't swim," and then they rowed their raft down to him and thankfully graciously gave him a ride to the other side of the river. What if that family was not there? What if that family was not there? In the heat of the moment, he said, "I'll just find my way back." How? How were you gonna find your way back? What were you gonna do? Why didn't you think about the worst case scenario and how you would be able to get yourself out of that worst case scenario had it happened? That's how I think with everything. I always think in worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, what am I gonna do? I plan for worst case scenarios. And I feel like it's not even a me thing, it's just a common sense thing. You have to plan for the worst. Yeah, expect the best. Expect that your friends would get you back home safely. But say all your friends die. What are you gonna do? How are you gonna prevent yourself from being stranded in a situation? Right? So that situation that happened in Mississippi, uh unfortunately this guy's dead. And now how can you tell the narrative of what happened? Now the narrative is not in your hands, it's in their hands. We have to be more careful about narratives. Some people like to control narratives, and and that's how it is. That's just how it is in this society. There's people that carry guns, carry firearms. There's this saying that goes, it's better to get caught with it than without it. If you're carrying a firearm and it just so happened that, someone seems suspect and they pose a threat towards you, right? And you see the intent for them to cause you some type of harm, the opportunity is there, and they're capable of posing that threat on you. You're gonna take out your firearm and protect yourself, right? And are you gonna just shoot them just to hurt them? Most people that carry firearms, they shoot to kill because they want to control the narrative. They're gonna make sure they kill you. They don't want you going to court when you're shot at and then pose their narrative. No, it's gonna be the person that's alive narrative over the person that's dead, and that's gonna be the end of the story. Period. It doesn't matter if these people looked like you or they didn't look like you. Your safety was in your hands. You felt threatened. You felt that the opposing force had the opportunity, the intent was there, and they were capable of causing you some type of harm, and so you fired. And that's the narrative. And it's almost the same situation. It's gonna be their narrative over this person because he's not there to tell his side of the story of what happened. Let me pull it up on YouTube. That's my take on the situation. Um, so unfortunate, bro. I haven't been on here in a while, but
This story is crazy. It is crazy. Let me switch it up on y'all. All right, so we got the screen here. I haven't posted a video in so long, so long. Nolan, this guy. Nolan Wells rescuer reveals new details after teen's body found.
Going down the elevator.
Yeah.
He was like, put my number in your phone.
The dude was a football player. Oh, he was 18 years old. 18-year-old disappeared on Horn Island, Mississippi, as he celebrated the 4th of July last weekend. The body was found on July 6th, with Nolan's mother, Kristen Wansley, later confirming he was unalive. Nolan cause of death is not yet released as officials work to identify him through DNA testing.
This morning, the desperate search for answers in Mississippi after the death of 18-year-old Nolan Wells, authorities recovering a body believed to be the teen. Investigators and volunteers from the Cajun Navy spent the weekend urgently searching for Wells after he vanished from Horn Island on July 4th.
Nolan Wells was on a boat and left from a private dock area in the Ocean Springs area and proceeded with his friends to Horn Island.
Wells was visiting the barrier island 10 miles from the Gulf Coast, boating with friends, last seen around 3 p.m. Saturday.
They left and went back without Nolan. From what we understand, he chose to stay there.
Later that night, when he didn't return home, his mother reporting him missing to police, then quickly taking to social media, posting pictures of the teen, pleading for help finding him. The heartbreaking discovery made about 8:45 Monday morning when authorities say the Mississippi Community College wide receiver's suspected body was found in the water just off the shore. His mother writing, "His father, our family, friends, and I are absolutely devastated," describing Wells as a sweet son who was always willing to cheer and uplift others. Now, investigators say they
Good one's always full.
suspect he drowned, but they're still interviewing friends who were with him as they work to pinpoint what exactly happened.
That's why we're still asking for information if anybody has anything, any knowledge.
And that information, the sheriff says, will help them paint a better picture of what happened to Nolan in the moments before his death. A toxicology report from the coroner's office is still pending.
This morning, the desperate search for answers in Mississippi after
So
the death of
unfortunate,
18
bro.
The family of the missing Mississippi teen, Nolan Wells, has identified the body that was found on Horn Island as the 18-year-old. Officials said that the body, which is believed to be that of 18-year-old Nolan Wells, was found around 8:45 a.m. by a park ranger. Jackson County coroner said DNA testing will officially confirm the identity, but did say, quote, "There is no reason to believe it is not him." The sheriff also added that the body found did match the description of Wells, and the family posted on social media confirming the unfortunate loss. The family of the missing Mississippi teen, Nolan Wells, has identified the body that was found on Horn Island as the 18-year-old. Officials said that the body, which is believed to be that of 18-year-old Nolan Wells, was found around 8:45 a.m. by a park ranger. Jackson County coroner said DNA testing will officially confirm the identity, but did say, quote, "There is no reason."
I'm trying to find this other video. This dude in the river. Let me see. Family saved young liver. Family saved young boy and river with friends. Florida. Right here. This is what I was talking about. This guy's like, I'm gonna die. Why? Why do you have to say that you're gonna die? Because you gotta learn how to swim. First off, why would you guys encourage this young dude to go with you if you knowing that he can't swim? This is not a time to give someone swimming lessons when you guys decide to go on an adventure in some place that someone is not qualified to ensure the safety of their own self. This situation is just fucked up all around.
You can swim down, River.
Your friends is calling you a retard in a life or death situation.
I think I'll stay here. How am I gonna get you back home? You don't think Mama Marquise is gonna be worried? Yeah, your mom. My mom's name.
Your mommy? Look at how they're talking to him.
Your mom is always worried about you. I think that's why.
My dad's in prison. I think that's why.
By looking at you.
You know, we can tell by looking at you. Bro, just go get a kayak. You're dependent on them to get you a kayak and take you across the river. Why? Are we not teaching our loved ones to take care of their own safety when they're out, when they leave the house? Maybe I'm being sensitive to the situation, but this was just a green moment.
No, I'm black. It doesn't matter. I'm not gonna say. Bro, I'll just find a way.
I'll just find a way.
Bro, you have a life jacket. I'm gonna die.
I feel like this was a learning moment for this dude. This was definitely a learning moment. He eventually shut them out. He sees his family, you know, he sees his family passing by on a raft, and he's like, I'm gonna die. Somebody can fucking save me.
Hold on.
You have to go. I'm just trying to get over there. We taught him how to swim. Oh, so I can just like hold on.
Right here if you want.
Yeah, I might drown.
You won't drown.
You won't drown. You're not gonna drown.
I might drown. Thank God for this family right here.
You won't drown.
There you go.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Thank God for decent, kind-hearted people. Decent, kind-hearted, like good-hearted people, bro.
Huh?
Hey. What's your name?
My name is Marquise. But everybody calls me LeVar because I go to like Denellen.
Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was okay getting over here. And they think I'm about to swim back. I can't even swim.
Good job.
Man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I would have grounded him. I would have grounded my son. I would have grounded, because that was a stupid decision that you made. You knowing you can't swim. You know you can't swim, and you're like, he thought I was gonna swim back. What about your safety, bro? What about your own safety? I would have grounded him because that was a stupid decision. Had his family not been passing by, what would you have done? What would you have done?
I'll be right back.
And it's my first time here?
Yeah, everyone can say his friends are not his friends and this and that, but he got to take some accountability for this.
It's your
First time? Well, welcome.
Yeah.
How'd you get over here?
Yeah, what
They made me
happened?
take that way over there, and they had
They
two life
made-
jackets on.
Hey, peer pressure.
I'm never coming back with y'all.
We don't know anything about peer pressure.
We told you if you're coming, we had a life jacket. Life jacket. This ain't even for a big kid. This for a little kid. Oh my god.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm never coming back with y'all.
That's just a careless decision. Careless planning.
I don't know what to say.
That's the dude. That's his friend. He's like, help me up. Man, I would have been like, get your ass home now. Get your ass home now. Want to play stupid game? You win stupid prizes. I wonder how old he was too, Mom. You gotta be careful with influences, man. Cause he could have been another one. Could have been another one. Thank God for that family. Young brother is and really a save our family from wicked friends who knew he couldn't swim.
You can swim down, Remy. You
And that water could have had crocodiles, alligators in it too. You know how them gators be in Florida, man. I wouldn't have done it. I ain't fuck with them gators. Florida's known for them gators. I ain't getting in that water. Hey man, listen, I'll swim in the pool, but I'm not swimming in the ocean. I'm not doing it. It's just it's out of my comfort zone. Yeah, I do want to try surfing, but I ain't going down in the deep end by myself until I'm confident enough to take myself back to shore. I don't care what nobody say. I don't listen, man. I don't care if you my parents. I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it until I'm confident enough that I could take care of myself in a situation where my life depended on myself. I don't care. I'm a paranoid person, and it's just part of it is just common sense, man. It's just common sense, bro. It is just common sense. Ah, man, Mr. Nolan, I feel so bad.
A Mississippi family is trying to cope with a heartbreaking update from volunteers searching for a missing teen. Searchers believe they found the body of 18-year-old Nolan Xavier Wells after he headed out on a boat trip with friends for July 4th and never came back. What happened out there on the water? Why was Nolan the only member of his friend group who didn't return to shore? And what is next in the search for answers? I'm going to be speaking with one of the members of the United Cajun Navy who was out there actively searching when the devastating news came in. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. July 4th, Independence Day. It's a holiday that a lot of people spend out in the water all across the United States, from beach days along the Atlantic to boat days on the lake. It's supposed to be just a great way to spend a hot summer day. But the water, as we know, also carries a lot of dangers. And this small isle called Horn Island has now become the center of a death investigation. So Horn Island is a long, thin barrier island south of Pascagoula, Mississippi. It's part of the Gulf Coast. It's only accessible by boat. This is according to the National Park Service, so limited accessibility, right? Now, according to family members and the Jackson County, Mississippi Sheriff's Office, 18-year-old Nolan Wells went to Horn Island with several friends on Saturday. This young, fit wide receiver for the Southwest Mississippi Community College football team was last seen at around 3 p.m. that day. New York Post reported that he was, quote, talking to a girl on the north end of Horn Island. When he was reported missing, multiple agencies jumped into action. The United Cajun Navy, their incident commander, Josh Gill, posted about the search on Facebook over the weekend.
6'1", 180 pounds, was last seen on that north end of Horn Island. Guys, he hasn't been found. Okay, he was last talking to a girl on that north end. He went out to Horn Island
Who's
with
the
some
girl?
buddies
What's the
yesterday
girl
out
have
on
to
a
say?
boat. He's not been heard from in close to 24 hours. So guys, if you're out there fishing, if you're out there, jet skiing, doing whatever you guys are doing, keep your eyes out for Nolan.
Now, I'm going to be speaking with the Cajun Navy's Vice President, Brian Trasher, in just a moment. I want to get a better sense of what the search was like because he was actively searching for Nolan when it's believed Nolan's body was found. Nolan's mom, Christine, got a hold of these photos that Nolan had apparently taken with friends aboard a boat the day that he went missing. She flooded social media with these photos, asking for anyone with information to get in touch with authorities. And it's unclear so
They
far
were
what
drinking
Nolan's
too.
friends
Wait,
told law enforcement,
that
told
was
authorities when they were, and it's photos asking for
yeah, cut water.
anyone
No,
with.
stop. Yeah, it looks like this was alcohol. I mean, I don't think he was drinking, but if I had to guess, I'm sorry, they threw him off the boat. That's my guess. My guess is they got drunk. They probably started horsing around, right? Started horsing, trying to be, the dominant person. Somebody trying to be the dominant guy, the group, and they wanted to test the waters, and maybe they pushed him off the boat and told him to swim, knowing that he can't swim. Just pure wickedness. It's pure wickedness.
The information to get in touch with authorities. And it's unclear so far what Nolan's friends told law enforcement, told authorities when they reported they couldn't find him. But according to the sheriff's office, it was a park ranger that spotted a body at around 8:45 a.m. Monday morning. Authorities haven't officially released an identity. They're apparently still waiting for DNA test results. But media outlet WAPT in Jackson reported that the coroner said there's no reason to believe it's not Nolan.
Yeah.
According to TMZ, the body was in the water near the northwest end of the island. WAPT also reports that an autopsy is planned for today, Tuesday, and we could learn a lot more once those results are released, but that could potentially be weeks from now. In the meantime, his family is just trying to come to grips with the fact that this happened, that this young man, a college sophomore known for showing off his skills in the football field with his whole life ahead of him,
No, he'll be
is now
haters.
dead. Died
He probably was a good
during
football
what was
player.
just supposed to be a day out on the water. And Christine confirmed this heartbreaking development in a
I
Facebook
wasn't
post.
doing it.
Quote, I
I
want
don't
to thank
care
our
what nobody
family,
said.
friends, community, United Cajun Navy, local law enforcement, and everyone involved for all the love, support, resources over the last few days. His father, our family, friends, and I are absolutely devastated. Heartbroken for my sweet son who is always willing to cheer and uplift others. Nolan was a special
So
soul.
sad, bro.
God took his time creating our son. I ask that you please